Okay, who wants waffles?
I do!
Waffles? Great. All-day breakfast? Fantastic. Low prices? Even better. How do they do it? Well, here are 10 reasons why Waffle House is so cheap. The hash browns.
You eat that hash brown?
Fresh potatoes or not. Fluffy and crunchy, these tasty and famous little shreds of cooked potato are the perfect food for people who need a filling breakfast side but are looking for something different than a banana, cereal, or bagel. Hash browns come in a huge variety of styles, some of which are more well-known than others. Regardless of the style, hash browns are a perfect addition to any breakfast regimen, especially when paired with a cup of joe. The hash brown is without a doubt the most prominent item on the Waffle House menu, after waffles, of course. And many people wonder how the eatery creates the delectable item. There's debate that these might actually be dried potatoes with butter-like oil rather than fresh potatoes, and a little magic. Waffle House's website explicitly states that their hash brown concoctions are made using fresh potatoes by saying that it takes greatly skilled grill workers in your Waffle House restaurant to convert the spuds into hash browns. The hash browns at Waffle House are most likely produced from potatoes that have been dried, though. According to a waiter who worked at the establishment for over 2 years, the Waffle House's famous hash browns are produced exactly as described. They're delivered in a megastore-sized box that contains freeze-dried chunks of potato shavings, and hours before a new batch would be required, the box is opened and filled with water. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that Waffle House is now offering their hash brown mixture for sale online.
Shut up and take my money!
Making money with catering.
Hello, I like money.
Waffle House Food Travels. More precisely, the chain offers a food truck catering business that can add flair to any occasion with its mouth-watering waffles, hash browns, and Texas melts. Waffle House Catering provides delivery or on-site services for any event, including weddings, business gatherings, and birthday parties. Although the Waffle House truck primarily serves the Atlanta region, individuals who are craving a waffle or two outside of Georgia need not despair. Those willing to pay more and pay the chain's employees' housing fees can hire the truck nationwide. It's become well known that Waffle House offers romantic candle-lit dinners on Valentine's Day, but few are aware that the roadside institution also provides catering for weddings. The service appears to be well received overall, despite the fact that most people wouldn't think of having their wedding catered by Waffle House. Although there have been a handful of couples who have tied the knot with a waffle in hand.
I got waffles.
They serve breakfast all day long.
What about second breakfast?
Who doesn't love breakfast foods? For some reason, there's some sort of stigma against eating breakfast at times other than the morning, and it's just not right. Why do all the most delicious foods of the day have to be eaten at a specific time? Well, thankfully, some restaurants have pioneered the all-day breakfast for those that want a waffle at night or bacon and eggs for lunch. All of Waffle House's offerings are available at all times. This implies that customers can choose to conclude their day with breakfast or indulge in a steak on their way home from the club at 3 in the morning. Additionally, Waffle House may benefit from the rising trend of eating breakfast out rather than preparing it at home. Research explains that millennials are showing a growing behavioral pattern of just preferring the convenience of someone else providing breakfast for them, rather than waking up early to make it themselves. It makes sense for restaurants to provide breakfast all day, as it is quite profitable for them to do so. The profit margins are not that shocking given that breakfast meals consist of some of the least expensive components available, like eggs, a menu dish at Waffle House that is quite popular. It's interesting to note that in 2015, McDonald's introduced all-day breakfast, capitalizing on the rising popularity of morning menu items to reverse a 2-year sales downturn. It's safe to say that Waffle House won't be restricting their breakfast hours anytime soon, and that's why people love them.
I love Waffle House.
Keeping a limited menu.
That's all.
Keeping to a smaller menu can help restaurants substantially cut down on costs. There's no need to stock up on a variety of different and possibly obscure items when sticking to a small menu, and there's a lot less wasted food. The Waffle House menu has had only a few additions over the years, but today's laminated placemats aren't all that different from the restaurant's original selections. Hash browns, which were added to the menu in the 1980s, have perhaps been the chain's most significant addition and one of the most popular menu items to date. Furthermore, Waffle House hasn't done much to promote healthier options in contrast to many of the other restaurants today. Currently, the chain's menu doesn't provide many items that are low in fat and high in nutrients, but they are all loaded with flavor. Waffle House's menu may look pretty large at first glance, however, this isn't the case. While employing many of the same components, a hamburger, patty melt, or eggs with beef burger are ways to expand the menu despite the fact that there are actually only a few ingredients needed.
You didn't see that coming?
Waffle House sells a lot of food.
It's just a lot of food.
Waffle House sells a ton of food and enough coffee to fill several Olympic-sized swimming pools every year. Waffle House sells 58 million cups of coffee, 153 million orders of hash browns, 124 million waffles, 272 million eggs, and 85 million pieces of bacon annually. If you compute this from the chain's opening date, the statistics become astronomical. For instance, Waffle House has sold around 4 billion eggs, over 2 billion orders of hash browns, and almost 2 billion waffles since 1955. Although it may not be immediately apparent, Waffle House is one of the biggest T-bone steak providers in the world. But who really goes to Waffle House to get steak? Waffle and Steak was actually the restaurant's name when it first launched in Indiana, as the name Waffle House was already used by another establishment at the time. Since it originally started, Waffle House has sold around 135 million T-bone steaks, according to its website. This statistic is then broken down into more manageable portions. Waffle House serves 4 steaks per minute, which amounts to 240 steaks each hour, or 5,760 per day, totaling 2.1 million steaks per year.
Do I look like a steak to you?
The workers don't get paid much.
You guys are getting paid?
The federal minimum wage, which is set by the federal government and is the minimum wage that employers must pay their employees, currently stands at $7.25 an hour. The minimum wage has been a controversial topic in the United States, with some arguing that increasing the minimum wage will negatively impact the economy, and others arguing that increasing the minimum wage will help reduce income inequality. The current minimum wage in the United States is too low to adequately provide for the country's workforce and can only be raised with the help of a higher federal minimum wage, which is currently being debated in Congress. Although many sources provide varying income rates for Waffle House servers, it is undeniably the case that the chain's pay is appalling. Waffle House staff get an abysmal $7.25 per hour in base pay, or an average base salary of $3 per hour plus tips. It's currently estimated the hourly wage of a Waffle House server to be somewhere around $9.30. Low pay is often accompanied by low employee morale. An ex-employee claims that once their shifts are over, servers are expected to take care of housekeeping chores, including sweeping, mopping, and cleaning the restrooms. It therefore comes as no surprise that many Waffle House staff might not pay close attention to detail. And other diners claim that this is evident when walking into Waffle House.
Cheapskate.
There are a ton of Waffle House locations.
That's a lot of littles.
According to the Waffle House website, the business has close to 2,000 outlets spread over 25 states. Additionally, it employs about 40,000 people, or as the website refers to them, associates. If you happen to be in the appropriate region of the nation, you can scarcely turn a corner without encountering a Waffle House location. While Waffle House may grow in the future, the majority of its locations are now found in the southern region of the country. Even though the franchise's original Avondale Estates facility is now a museum, Waffle House has more than 200 locations in metropolitan Atlanta and serves about 80,000 people daily. For good reason, the 24-hour restaurant is popular in the South, where people tend to stay up later. Due to the weather, people in the North go to bed earlier, which is one opinion on why the chain is so popular in the South. You don't do much business when the snow starts to fall and the buses are halted.
Man, I sure do hate the snow.
They have a quick diner turnaround.
Very fast.
As a business, Waffle House earns money by accommodating as many customers as possible. Clients should be served, fed, and out the door in less than 20 minutes after meal orders are received and sent to the kitchen. There's frequently a sense of astonishment when ordering food and having it arrive at your table less than 4 minutes later. So how does Waffle House get orders completed so quickly? The ordering process at this iconic Southern diner is really effective. Servers are supposed to stand on a certain red tile known as the mark when shouting their orders to the chefs. By limiting the number of servers who may place orders at once, confusion is avoided and mistakes are few and far between. Additionally, there is a backup strategy in the form of a visual coding system in case the griddle operator is unable to hear the command. The approach, which appears straightforward but is actually rather intricate, involves waiters placing condiments on plates in certain locations, such as small tubs and butter pats, to let the kitchen know what to prepare.
And you realize it is that simple.
Get Waffle House merch online.
Your only purpose in life is to buy and consume merchandise, and you did it.
Selling apparel is a fantastic way for Waffle House to make some additional money, but it's also a fantastic marketing tactic. Getting scattered, smothered, and coated with the latest Waffle House attire is only a few clicks away, and options include clothing such as jackets and t-shirts, as well as drink tumblers, all of which include the chain's emblem. If you're a big Waffle House fan, everyone benefits. E-commerce has made it possible for Waffle House customers to buy from the comfort of their homes while also enhancing the chain's brand recognition and earning them some extra cash for the coffers. Additionally, Waffle House sells culinary goods like Waffle House Coffee and Waffle House Waffle Mix. One fan of Waffle House created homemade waffles using the restaurant's waffle mix and declared that they were superior to the waffles served at the restaurant. So it may be worth trying your hand at creating some Waffle House waffles at home and see how yours stack up against the famous restaurant chain.
Challenge accepted.
Not many extras at Waffle House.
You're not fired. Yet.
Waffle House plainly states on its website, as most regulars know, we don't like to change what isn't broken. The fact that not much has evolved since Waffle House originally opened its doors in the 1950s is hardly unexpected given this motto. Waffle House offers no surprises at all, from the recognizable yellow sign with basic black text to the laminated menus and the jukebox playing the franchise's signature music. Each Waffle House restaurant has the same floor plan. The restaurant's layout, which was created for optimum customer engagement and efficiency, includes window booth seating and a counter that overlooks the open grill to encourage interaction between the chefs and customers. There's no denying that the chain's affordable prices and practical decor appeal to a certain feeling of nostalgia. Waffle House focuses on an eating experience that transports consumers back in time rather than following trends. People presumably develop a connection to it when they're young, since parents don't have to spend a lot of money to take their young family out for breakfast. It's nice to see that some restaurants don't try to jump on all the latest trends and change what makes them unique. Waffle House will always be a widely loved and special place to the countless people who eat there every day. We've got more. Just tap or click for another great video. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. And hey, leave us a comment.